Another CSGO video. In this video, we're going to be going over the top 5 skins in CSGO that I believe have lost most of their value, and a lot of you guys probably lost a lot of money on them. But still, either way, this is also going to involve a lot of your guys taking part, because I want you guys to go down in the comment section below and tell me, in your opinion, what are some skins you think that have lost a lot of value. Now, it doesn't have to be statistically the ones that have lost the most value, like, oh, this gun lost exactly 1,034% value. This is the one in CSGO that's lost the most value over time. You know, started out really, really expensive. Let's say started at $100 and is now worth $4, you know. Tell me, you know, it doesn't have to be statistically right. This isn't, you know, I'm not making mine in any order. I'm not making mine statistically. I'm just showing you guys, when I was coming up with this video idea, in my opinion, what I think guns or what skins in general have dropped the most, and how I think it's just overall working so far, and just the ones that I think are pretty cool. Again, it's not going to be ones that are like, oh, this one lost 42,000% value over time over the past month. No, I just want to hear ones that you think have dropped the most over time and ones that you think is kind of cool. So let's get into the first one. Sorry for dragging out so long, and subscribe, by the way, but let's get into the first one. And remember, guys, this has no specific order. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we've got the factory new, keep in mind, factory new AK-47 Aquamarine Revenge. Gorgeous skin, by the way. I think it's pretty sick, and if I had to get a new AK, I'd probably get one of these babies. But still, at around $80 or 90 or 100 when it came out. Obviously, when it came out, it would be like 400 max that you can sell on the Steam market. By the way, all these graphs that you guys are seeing on screen showing how much they've dropped are actually from the Steam market. But still, you guys can see that they started out averaging out for the first month or two at about $100, $90, $80, around there. And then now you can go on OP Skins and get them for $25. $25 you can get a factory new Aquamarine Revenge that used to be almost $100 when it averaged out at some points being like $120, $130, but still, what the heck, man? This skin is so beautiful. I don't know why it's dropped so much, but hey, whatever. I like cheap skins, so let's get into the next one. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we've got the AWP Asiimov Field Tested. Take a look at this graph that you guys can see right now. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. It started out at like for months, for like almost like 4 months. It was at like $100 on the dot, and then it dropped down to about 80 and dropped down to about 60, 70 range for a while. For a long time, it was about $60 or $70, almost even an entire year. And now you can go on OP Skins and get a field tested AWP Asiimov for I think like $21 or $22. It's crazy, man. This thing used to be $100. So I'm sure for you guys who went really hard back on CSGO Lounge in the old days, and you had like 30 Asiimovs field tested spread across a bunch of accounts worth $80 each, you're probably a little bit sad if for some reason you disappeared for a year or two and now your Asiimovs are worth a quarter of what they were before. But still, this skin, oh my gosh, man. I remember one time my little brother unboxed an AWP Asiimov because it was worth like what, like $70 then. We went insane, and now $21 on OP Skins. Are you serious? And the number 3 spot goes to the AWP Dragon Lore factory new. This is a crazy one. I'm going to be honest. This one is probably the biggest one that I'll be covering. Not necessarily percentage wise, but most monetary loss, like physical, like dollars, how much money it's lost. So from a few months ago, I think about 2 months ago, this, by the way, this graph is not from Steam. Normally I pull all my graphs from Steam for this video just because it's really, really easy to read. You can go back really, really far, but you're not going to find any factory new AWP Dragon Lores on the Steam market. And if you are, please buy it right now. Holy shit. But still, this is on OP Skins, so it shows over the past few months it's gone from about $1,300 down to $900. It's lost $400 in value. Now, if you think that's a lot, if you think losing $400 over a few months in value, I went over back on the Global Offensive Trade Reddit and found a trade from 2015, from I believe early or mid 2015, for a factory new AWP Dragon Lore, getting price checks for it, and people were offering 700 to 750 keys. Now, if you multiply 707 or 750 keys at, let's say, for example, we'll multiply 750. I don't know. We'll do 250, even though that's not what I believe they're priced at. You'll get $1,875. So think about that. $1,875 for a factory new AWP Dragon Lore has now gone down to about $900 or $920 on OP Skins. It's lost half its value. It's gone. It's gone from almost $2,000 for a factory new AWP Dragon Lore to not even $1,000. It's insane. That's just in 1 year. Of course, I think they're going to continue to fluctuate, whether they go up and down. I'm going to make a whole other video talking about the CSGO skin crash 2016, blah, blah, blah. You guys know that. But still, even if you don't value your skins at 2.5, let's say you do value them at 2, and it's 750 keys, 2 keys, that's still $1,500 down to $900. That's still $600 gone from everybody who owns AWP Dragon Lores. I'm sure there's some guys who have like 50 fact new AWP Dragon Lores, and you're not a happy guy. The second spot goes to a skin that I had actually when it was dropping. I believe I had a factory new, I don't have it anymore because I don't use it, but I have a factory new Icarus Fell. That's the number 2 spot. It went right when it released, about May 26th. It says here on the Steam graph. It was about $200 for like I'd say a week or so, and then it went down to about $130 and about $160, $170 area. It carried that for a few months, actually quite a while. It carried for about that $170 area, and then it dropped down to about $100 and held its value for like probably like 8 months. It held its value of about $100, and then now it has insanely dropped. You can get it for around $40 or less, I believe, maybe like 42, somewhere around there over on OP Skins. So from $100 and $170 at a lot of points, all the way down to about $40. And it's a gorgeous skin too. Like, it's such a good looking skin. I don't see why there isn't more demand for it, but hey man, whatever. We'll talk about that in another video. But still, Icarus Fell losing a ton of value, and wouldn't be surprised if it went down even more. But still, that's crazy how much the Icarus has dropped, and it's awesome. I can't think of a better M4A1 skin. Maybe the Masterpiece, maybe the Hot Rod, but still, Icarus. Holy shit, I love that skin. Coming in at the final spot, again, guys, remember, this isn't like most percentage or the ones that have dropped the most, just the ones that I think are pretty crazy and just the ones that I find most interesting. So the AK Redline field tested when it came out was very, very expensive. You guys can see on this graph, or at least in comparison, it was very, very expensive. It started out about 40 or 30 bucks. For a while, it held $30 to $28. It held that for a long time, months on months, like 4 months. It held a $28 threshold, which is crazy. And then over time, over the past like year, it's dropped all the way down. You guys know an AK Redline is like $4.60. It's like $4.60 now. So imagine having shit tons of AK Redlines, because don't get me wrong, it's a gorgeous skin. Like, the Redline is very, very underrated, especially a StatTrack one. But still, imagine having like a bunch of $30 AK Redlines, and then they just straight crash down to like $10, and now they're down to $4.50. So that kind of sucks. I think the AK Redline should hold its like $5 to $10 value. I think that's a good price point for the Redline. But seriously, man, $30. It held $30 for so long and it just dropped. Come on, that's crazy. I didn't just want to leave you guys completely hanging with everything that's going on. So I wanted to show you guys something that I thought was crazy. And one of the things that I'm going to start doing is, after this video, you guys are going to see something similar to the opposite. Something where it's like, you know, some skins were really, really cheap. Like, for example, the one I'm going to show you right now, the bonus clip, I guess you could call it, the AK-47 Fire Serpent, at one point being like $20, like $20, and then at some points a year later going up to like $280, and now you can get it on OP Skins for like $100, $120 around there, maybe $130, $140. Field tested, that is, that we're talking about the Fire Serpent field tested, which that's incredible. $20 to start out at, and then just absolutely launched up to almost $300. What the hell? So that's why I think I'm gonna make an entire video, or at least one video, probably multiple videos across this whole topic, just showcasing to you guys all the crazy things that have gone and been so cheap and just launched up so much, and then videos like this one where it's the exact opposite. So hopefully, guys,